You guys have Sitka in this state?
Hmm?
You have the Sitka virus in this state like we do in Texas?
I think we're right on the border of where it's supposed to be.
Okay,
I mean, luckily I'm not expecting it, so
that's good.
I'm okay.
Neither am I, but
All right, so again, this is the Kansas River, or also called the Kaw River. So this is the river. We're getting closer. We would be on the 500 block right now of Hughes's, where he grew up, just down in Alabama, which is about 7 blocks down the road. That's why we're not walking there, right? And so he would have been able to come out at the end of the road and go off to the little park and see the river. And like most kids, would have probably played around the river and thinks about the river, of where it's going, and tells us that. And I'll explain to you also where else that comes in. But on the other side of the river would be that you guys would have passed it on the way in, would be the Santa Fe train station, the depot over there on the other side. And Lawrence is a little unique. We actually have both trains. So we have the Santa Fe on one side of the river, and we have the Burlington Northern on this side of the river. So that's why we have 2 different tracks. They both are still operational. The depot on the other side was actually shut down, but was reopened. Money was raised. It's now our visitor center there on the other side of the river. The depot on this side, which is just down the street, is still operational because Amtrak comes through here. The Chief, which is the train that goes basically Chicago out to LA, comes through here every day. So it stops. I was saying. I should get my bearing. So if you're going west, it hits Lawrence at 12:30 at night, or 12:30 in the morning, and if you're going east, it's 6:30 in the morning. They are often on time, more often than you think, and that was always, we used to live over there, actually a block and a half away from the depot. So the trains going by was one thing, but when you have one just sitting there and idling, you were able to know what time it was, usually, or close to it, of what that is. But both places would have been places that Hughes would have visited, and he would have taken, more than likely, the Santa Fe line originally to go to Topeka to visit his mom when she was in Topeka, or visit his mom when she was in Kansas City. That line, either way, more often than the Burlington line. The Santa Fe was the more of the close commuting line that he would have taken. So that would have been the train depot that he would have gone into and experienced, saw people. It was the train after he left, shortly after he left. It's the station also that we would have sent troops from, soldiers for World War I would have left Lawrence using that Santa Fe line, and things like that would have been involved with him. But because it is Hughes, we'll read a little poetry. I won't read all day. I'll ask someone else to read at some point, but because I'm not always that great a reader, especially poetry. I also write about I write about 19th century writers. They write bad poetry, so I never really care how I read it. And Hughes does not write bad poetry. So I have known rivers. I have known rivers ancient as the world, and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I have known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. So again, this is the river that he would have been thinking about when he first started talking about rivers and where they're going to take you. He sees a river as a place that takes people away from something, the flow of the river, right? And again, the trees block it, but up on the hill would have been the spot that he would have seen it. Once we walk by, if you look back, you'll see the campus buildings looking back over the river, and you get a nice view up there of the whole valley area and the river valley. The other thing is that he pins that poem actually when he is going to see his father in Mexico. and actually pins it as he crosses the Mississippi and continues to cross over rivers as he's proceeding to Mexico to visit his father. Okay? Are we good?
All right.
Let's go. We'll go back this way.